Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. We're going to do a colorful cut crease, so let's get right into this tutorial. As you can see, I already did my eyebrows already because like I said, they take way too long. So we're going to go into my Bee Bella palette. That is a really colorful palette. It has a lot of bright colors in it. So we're going to use a light pink. It's not really light, but it's pink and like a orange, soda orange. We're going to blend those together. We're going to put them in my cut crease. We're just going to blow this all out pretty much everywhere. Just make it messy, not too messy, but just windshield wiper motions, back and forth, back and forth. And then we're going to go in and use a deeper pink on the outer corner. And that's just gonna make it even brighter. When I do my cut crease, you'll be able to it'll just make your eyes look brighter, just make them more pop better. So we're gonna put that in the outer and then go ahead back into the crease and then just blend that just like the other two. Now we're gonna take my concealer that's in the color Fawn. Just try to find a concealer that is at its lightest. I don't have a white one, so I just use this one. This one's like the color for concealer. And as you can see, you just have to blend it all the way around, just halfway. And the easiest way to do a cut crease, if this is your first time, because I've only done this a few times, but if it's your first time, you can always rewind it where you can see where I just placed it where the ball of my eye is in the middle, and then you just open your eye and then it will tell you, it will kind of show you where you need to blend and where you need to measure it, and then just make that half moon, I guess you can call it. And then we're going to go ahead and do the other side. So you see where I put in the middle, I blinked up, and then that's where I'm supposed to stop. Now if you have your eyes are a little closed, they're not as big, like you don't have a lot of room, you can still do the same thing and just go up just above your crease, your natural crease, if you need that more room to show those colors, so it doesn't seem like, so it seems like you have so much space for you to add those other brighter colors. So we're just gonna pack that on, make sure that my line is not all crooked or blotchy, and my eyes look pretty much as similar as possible. One eye is like oddly bigger than the other, like I have more space on one eye than I do the other, so I try to make it match as much as possible, but everything is not always the same. So then we're gonna go to my pink rose. This is the Runway palette. I get both of these palettes from the Makeup Box. It is a beauty bar that in my city, and it's the best place. I love it. And this palette is so bomb. Pinky Rose have really pigmented shadows and they have so many colors. So we're gonna go in with the brightest yellow, and then we're just gonna pack that in. You're not gonna blend it, you're going to pack it in because you want that color to show just as much as the pink colors. You want this yellow just to show just as much. So just pack it in. It might look like I'm blending it, but I'm not. I'm literally just keep packing it in and keep packing it in till you reach almost towards the end, and try to cover all that light part that you just creased out, cut out. And I'm sorry that this palette is in the way. I tried my hardest to stay in focus, but it has a mirror and I was trying to see as close as I possibly can. So the next color is like it's green, but it's not as dark. It pretty much looks the same as the yellow one, but in person you can tell that the yellow fades into this like grassy light green color, and that's where I'm putting it at the end of the rest of that cut crease. It's hard to tell because my lighting's not as great, but it's like yellow and green. when you look at it in person. And then you're going to pack that color as well. Now once you pack those two colors, the green and the yellow, you're going to kind of move the green back and forth, so you are going to blend towards that end. So it kind of, there's no distinct line. You might not see the distinct line when you do it, but throughout the day it's going to show. So you just want it to look all well blended. And then we're going to do the other side, which you cannot see. Try to see a little bit, but we're just going to do the same thing like we did on the other eye. Once we're done with that, we're going to blend that pink color here in a minute. So let's start doing that. I'm just going to keep blending that back part so it fades. The doors open, take the hot road and hop in. First impression, you OPN. We should be closer to friends. If you OPN, engaging is on my agenda. And then we're gonna go with that pink color like I said before, and we're just gonna blend those all together. Just blend that outer part so it still shows. This is a different pink color that's in the runway palette, but it matches. And then I'm just gonna keep blending it, and then try to find a small, like this one is like a small fluffy cut crease, fluffy little small brush. Not cut crease brush, but it's just like a small little brush, and I'm just doing my brow bone because I forgot to set it. I usually set it after I add the colors in. And then I'm going to go back into that purplish color, and then I'm going to make that purple around the yellow look really distinct. Like you're going to, in this part you don't have to blend, you just got to pack it and kind of blend it instead of doing that. Next, we're going to put in my primer. This is my e.l.f. Putty Primer. It comes in a jar. You can get it at any drugstore in your area. And we're just going to put it everywhere. I got mascara there. Just put it everywhere. And it's like, it's good for combination skin. I want to say it's good for oily skin, but when I started using it, it just made my face look more even. Then we're going to go with my Maybelline foundation. This was like one of the newest ones that came out, and it's like, I forgot what it was called, but it's my summer color for right now. I only use one pump, and you just go ahead and just blend it out with your beauty sponge, your beauty blender. This one is by Real Techniques. It's the diamond one, and I like it because it's huge, so it doesn't take that long. Then we're going to take the Maybelline Age Rewind, and this one is the highlight one, and this is like the pink. Like anything that's pink or peachy, it's gonna brighten up your under eyes very, very well. And it takes out like if you have dark circles, and if you're too fair to use like any red or oranges, then try the pink one. It'll really help out a lot better. Then we're gonna blend out my concealer. I went back and used the same one that I used to do my cut crease, and I think it's in the color Fawn. And just blend that out. And my head wrap almost fell off, so now I need to fix it. And then go back to blending everything out, blend my under eyes out. I always do them last. I learned this from watching videos. Kind of let it sit, let it kind of dry down so it looks a little fuller and it doesn't look all streaky. And just blend that. Keep. I probably put too much on that one. And once you are satisfied, which I am overly not satisfied, so I'm a perfectionist when it comes to my face, then we're going to go in with another product from Maybelline. I love Maybelline, it's good for women of color. And that's their press powder, and it's in the color 30. We're gonna blow the excess off, and we're gonna bake my chin because my chin breaks up more, and then the rest I just pat in and pat it in until it looks more like skin. It doesn't look all powdery. Because baking in the eye does not work. It just causes me to crease even more. There's no reason for that. So I just learned to pat that all in so I don't have a lot on my brush or on my sponge. And just keep going until it starts to melt in and look more like skin. Once you're done with that, then we're gonna blend the rest of that powder off, take off the excess off of my chin, and just make sure there's no lines. No distinctive lines. Then we're gonna take from my L'Oreal the bronzer. It has some glitter in it, but it matches my undertone. It's not super dark, but it's dark enough where it kind of helps. I kind of do like a not like a blowout contour, but it's like just a natural contour because I don't really need, it doesn't really look good on me. So I just kind of place it and then I just blow it out. As you can see, I'm just going around. Fake my little nose so it's a little narrower. Then we're going to take my big old kabuki brush. And then we're going to take my orange blush. It's called Roasted Almond by Black Radiance. And this just brings the color back in my skin because after all of that powdering and then adding the darkness, it's just better for you to try to put some color with your undertone back in your skin. My undertones are like orange and yellow, and orange kind of helps make everything look even. Then we're going to spray it with my Pearlescence Mister. Those are my little setting sprays. Those misters now. Because my face doesn't look dry and it doesn't look dewy. It's like really pretty much in between. Next we're going to put on my lashes. Those are by the Bold Face Muse, and those are Spice It Up. While I'm waiting for those to dry, we're going to put in some highlight. This highlight is called Illuminous, and it's by London Makeup Revolutions, and this is their Pro one. I've had this forever, and it's my favorite one. It's super gold. It's like gold and champagne at the same time. So it's super, super pretty, and it's really pigmented, so you really don't need a lot. Just like 2 swipes, it should cover your whole face, but I'm super extra, so I need like a couple more. Once we blend that out, you can tell it's nice. We're gonna go in and buy, should have showed it, but it's this glittery jar it's by Wet n Wild. It was a product they sold a while back, and that just makes it more, it's like really, really ground up glitter. But you just place it over top and it just makes everything look super shiny, like you can tell. And then we're just gonna put more lip gloss on. I have a lot of different lip glosses. These are my clear ones, and that's by Hard Candy, and that's Extreme Pout. It's just clear, but it's also a plumper, so it helps. It doesn't really plump that big. It just makes my lips just look a little more pink. Now we're gonna place my lashes on there using tweezers. Now that they're all nice and tacky in my fingers, I'm just gonna keep going back and forth with that. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the other side. And you just have to find a mirror, just look down and just place it in the middle and then do the corner to corner. And that's how I learned how from watching other people do it. And this was like the easiest way for me to do it. If you're still having trouble, always like kind of cut the ends a little bit, because sometimes they have a little extra. If you cut the ends, that usually helps some people, so they don't feel like they're poking you or they feel like a little shorter. Or always like cut them in 3s, and that will help you as well if you're still having trouble.